Hey guys, back with another video. Please like, subscribe, comment, all those good things. But we're gonna hop straight into it. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the magnetism that you're going to experience on semen retention. And it's a real thing, and it's pretty crazy. I think the longer you guys go on this journey, you guys are gonna realize it's gonna start getting a little lonely, a little isolating. Because let's face it, how many of people in the world is really being disciplined enough to do this practice? So you're going to realize that the things you want to talk about, a lot of people is not really going to resonate with it. And when I started discovering that, I was getting kind of a little sad. I'm like, okay, man, who can I talk to? You get me? But the magnetism comes into play. And this story right now is I kept thinking to myself, I want to have more people to talk to about this practice. And I remember one day I was just really thinking it. I remember I was in a TikTok live, and the craziest part about that is in this live, this guy was, he's known for, what does he talk about? He talks about dating stuff. That's how he gets a lot of his people coming in there and just being in the live and whatnot. But one day when I hopped on and his live popped up, it said spirituality. And I'm like, oh wow, that's different. Hopped in there, I never hop on his panels to talk, but I'm like, let me hop on this one. Hopped on the panel to talk, and we had a cool talk about spirituality. Some things I've been wanting to talk to about people for the longest time, but haven't been able to have those moments. But he brought up semen retention. I'm like, bro, I've been wanting to talk about this with somebody for the longest time, and I expressed that to him, and we had a cool conversation about it. And just that conversation alone had me reaffirming my beliefs. Because if you're on semen retention, all you really have is videos off of YouTube, Reddit pages, and then they're good. I believe those stories, but to have a physical person to talk to one-on-one and confirm some of the things I've been thinking, it was just reaffirming. And the magnetism is real because how did that even happen? How did I hop onto TikTok the day that he decides to put the spirituality thing? And then we talk about spirituality, and then he brings up this conversation to semen retention the day that I was thinking that I want to talk about it with someone so much. But if you guys want to believe that one, you can. If not, I got another story. So a couple of days ago, I went to GNC to go buy some protein powder. And one thing I want to tell you about semen retention is the longer you're on it, you have this aura to you. And even without saying anything, people can feel that, and people can feel that energy from a mile away. And while you guys are on a long street, you guys are going to know what I'm talking about. But this is another thing that made me really believe the magnetism is a real thing. So I go into the store, I'm looking for protein powder and whatnot. I pick it up, I go to the counter. The guy starts talking to me, had super good energy. I'm like, oh, I'm really effing with this guy. And he started having a conversation with me. He asked me, oh, have you read any books? In my head, I'm thinking bro, I've been on my reading grind this whole year. And I'm happy that he even asked me that question, because a lot of people don't be reading. And that's been something I've been mainly doing. And I like when people have active conversation skills. You're going to realize in this generation, this social media age, a lot of people don't know how to hold a conversation. So when I go into a conversation with a majority of people, it really is me asking them more questions and getting that person to talk about themselves, which is cool. I love talking to people. I love hearing these stories, but sometimes I wish that people could ask me about my interests and what I'm into. And I get a lot of things I'm into is pretty niche and not a large majority, but it'll still be nice. So when this guy asked me that question, oh, have you read any books? Already in my mind, I'm like, oh, this is a great guy. I went into my books, and I hate talking about things I be reading to sometimes too, because I've noticed when I start talking about my reading, people probably get a little oh, I don't read. He probably thinks he's better than me, or they probably get a little insecure. I've got that energy. But with this guy, I'm oh, I could pretty much open up about it. And as I was telling him what I was reading, he seemed so intrigued and so he just liked what I had to say. And I really appreciate that. And then I kind of asked him about what he what kind of goals he was on this year. And as soon as I asked him about that, he told me oh man, I've been really on top of my goals. I've been really kind of knocking them out. He had a bunch of energy. And then he basically said, when the beginning of this year, I gave up something that a lot of men struggle with. And as soon as he said that, I'm like, oh my God, like he's probably on it as well. But I could tell like when he was kind of saying it, he was kind of like tiptoeing because, and I noticed this as well, semen retention, the longer you're on it, the more you're looking at Reddit pages, the more you're looking at YouTube videos, the more it just comes second nature to you. Like you just think this is a normal thing. It is not a normal thing. Don't let the internet get it confused. You bring it up to regular people, they're going to think you're weird, like honestly. And if you bring it up to friends, they'll try to like entertain it. But if they had no like intention of doing it, so like in their mind, they're going to be thinking, oh, this person's probably weird. Like I've experienced it. And if you guys are new to this journey, stop telling people that you're on it. That's like rule number one. But yeah, but as soon as he said that, I knew like he was kind of like trying to tiptoe because he didn't want to bring it up to be kind of weird. But as soon as he said that, I already knew what type of timing he was on. And I told him like, you're on semen retention, aren't you? And he nodded, yeah. And then he looked pretty happy to find someone else that was on it. And I was pretty happy too because the only people I really talked to about it is over the internet. So to find someone in person to talk to about it was pretty amazing. And yeah, he started telling me his experiences that he was experiencing. He's kind of new to it, so those are things I kind of experienced on my beginning. And I just gave him words of motivation. I told him like, yo, bro, like a lot of people aren't doing this. Good luck on your journey. Don't let anyone try to knock you off. And he basically told me too, like, oh, I'm gonna show you what being a good person gets you. So the protein powder that I got, he's like, you can grab 2 more. I think the protein powder I grabbed was probably like $50, like 40. And he told me I can grab 2 more of the same ones and I'm gonna give it to you for $15. I'm like, whoa, really appreciate that. And he just kept telling me like, that's what being a good person gets you. And I kind of reiterate what he says too, because a favorite thing I like to say is you put out good energy, the good energy is gonna come back. And on semen retention, your energy is just so crazy. So all these good things are happening to you. So grab that stuff, took it, and yeah, because that's not the only experience that's happened like that as well. That was the only experience where I've met somebody that's on semen retention that ended up giving me something free. That was the first. But when you're on this journey, I get a lot of free things. It's so weird. Like I'll go to Chipotle, they will make my bowl be like half off. They'll throw in the chips for free. Like I would go, I can't think off the top of my head, but you're gonna realize the longer you are on this journey, people just like giving you free things. It's just really weird. And that's just that magnetism. You get me? You are what you attract. So if you're like cultivating a bunch of this positive energy within yourself, it's just gonna come right back at you. But yeah, guys, I know I talk a lot about the attraction side of semen retention, but that's another big plus right there. Magnetism is going to be on 10. So keep retaining, keep holding on to your seed, and you're gonna notice that more good things are going to happen to you. But yeah, I'm gonna catch you guys on the next video. And as always, like, comment, subscribe. Peace.